Jamal Hill believes Alex Pereira will struggle against southpaw Khalil Rountree. Most fans believe this fight will likely end in a knockout for either fighter, as both are known for their explosive striking. Hill is confident that the fight will end in a knockout, and he believes Alex will struggle against the southpaw, as he did against Bruno Silva in 2022. It's going to be a knockout, 100% it's going to be a knockout. Khalil doesn't have a 5-round gas tank, and he's gassed at paces that were much slower than the pace that he's going to have to fight with Alex. Alex is going to come out slow, he's going to come out and take his time. Although he does look like he just wants to feel out, he's a lot more forward imposing than he looks. The things that Khalil has going for him is that he's a southpaw, and he has valuable threats from southpaw. I haven't seen Pereira dominate a southpaw that has multiple threats from southpaw. If you have weapons from southpaw, he struggles. He definitely struggles, Hill predicted. UFC legends have suggested a heel strategy for Islam Makhachev to boost his popularity to the level of Jon Jones and Alex Pereira. In a recent episode of Fat Guy and Bad Guy on the ESPN, Chael Sonnen and Daniel Cormier expressed concern over the current state of UFC champions. Because most of the champions have only recently won their belts, the company doesn't boast a lot of stars. Chael appreciated Makhachev for his personality that just needs to be marketed in MMA circles the right way. Okay, that guy is so charismatic and he is so secretly funny. If he was to do a heel turn, I mean, come on, he said one of the great heel lines ever. He said a whole bunch of professors should be taking their black belts back from guys. Like that angle, and that is blasphemy in this sport and nobody even knows got it. It was like this G-rated line. He didn't use profanity, he didn't yell. When he said it nicely. I think that's the move for Islam. He needs to get you and I to write him promos. We should write him promos. We write promos telling how much better he is than everyone. I would make him tell everybody that they don't deserve to be in there with him, and he's just going to lord over this division until he decides to retire. On Monday, Sean O'Malley dropped a new episode of his YouTube show, and the conversation eventually turned to Haney. The former UFC bantamweight champ didn't hesitate to call out not just Haney, but the entire boxing world. O'Malley even put up $1 million of his own money, challenging Haney to a real fight.
I love the wrestling aspect of MMA. I really do. I think it just makes fighting so much sweeter. Boxers are pussies, dude. Devin Haney's a bitch. He is such a bitch. Dude, if Devin Haney wants to talk shit, he really wants to fight, I'll put $1 million on me versus him, no time limit, and we can fight. MMA rules, just a fight. Or we can do no rules. So if you want to fucking eye poke me, you can do a real fucking fight. If you want to talk on Twitter, we can really actually fight.
Ooh, I like it.
Or just don't talk shit.
Haney responded to Suga on Twitter saying, "I don't fight for $1 million like you, Sean. Let's do a boxing fight and give us a shot at making real money." MMA community went off on O'Malley. Sean O'Malley 2 weeks ago. People talking shit online doesn't bother me. I'm stoic. Sean O'Malley now. Don't talk shit on Twitter. Blood should have focused on takedown defense instead of spending all day on podcasts. Most overrated champ ever. Haney will make him sleep. Both in denial after their loss. This is the perfect matchup. Michael Bisping reacts to Sean O'Malley claiming he beat Merab on the scorecards.
Well, it's hard because when you lose a fight, that's a decision. When you lose a fight where you didn't get necessarily beat to shit. When you lose a fight where in the 5th round, you know, you have probably your best round. You hit him with a body kick. You know, mentally, you don't feel beaten. And Sean, he's saying when he goes back and watches round 1, 3, and 5, you know, he feels like he won. There's other people out there that agree. Chael Sonnen came out and now he's saying the same thing. I haven't gone back and watched it because with respect to Sean, because I got a lot of respect for him, I don't feel like I need to do that. I feel like what I saw was pretty clear. I thought, you know, listen, it happens to all of us. You know, sometimes you just get beaten and it's a tough pill to swallow.
Aljamain Sterling reveals his potential next high-profile opponent if Movsar Evloev turns down the rebooked fight. Funkmaster was lined up to take on Evloev in a key featherweight title eliminator at UFC 307, set for October 5th at the Delta Center in Salt Lake City. But just last week, Sterling revealed he had to pull out of the fight after suffering a serious elbow injury. In a recent chat with the Schmo, Sterling praised Diego Lopes for his success in the octagon. Funkmaster mentioned that while they share a solid friendship, he senses some growing competitive tension as Lopes continues to rise in the featherweight division. I think Diego rising to his stardom and his rise in the sport in the UFC has been huge. It's nothing short of inspiring, to be honest, Sterling said. I'm happy for the guy. I got to train with him one time. He was a very nice dude, very polite. I can kind of feel the tension shift a little bit now whenever I see him. It seems like there's a little bit more tension there. It's not like I'm fighting him tomorrow or he's my next scheduled fight, so for me, I don't really see a point in being like that. But I can understand why he's a little bit more on guard when seeing me or meeting me. If we're talking about the next best fight, if Movsar declines, I just don't know who else he would fight. But if he gives me the option, I've always wanted Brian Ortega so I could get the closest spot to the top. And now that next closest guy is Diego Lopez. That's all it is. It has nothing to do with what this guy did or that. It's the name value and what it gets me. Risk versus reward. If I'm going to risk it for the biscuit, that's the guy I would risk it with. Henry Cejudo says Sean O'Malley's win over Aljamain Sterling was a fluke. Following his loss to Merab Dvalishvili at UFC 306, Sean O'Malley's record has come under intense scrutiny. Critics are questioning why his first title defense is against a lower-ranked fighter like Marlon Vera, and O'Malley is facing criticism from all sides. One of the most outspoken critics is former two-division champion and Olympic gold medalist Henry Cejudo. On his podcast Pound for Pound, Henry suggested that Sterling could have continued the fight in Boston and cast doubt on the legitimacy of O'Malley's win. What can I say? I predicted these things. Sean is not accustomed to going 5 rounds, and he is not accustomed to people on his legs. And I just felt like I still go back and say, hey, that fight with Aljamain Sterling, that was a fluke too. Aljamain was still in that fight. And people thought I was just hating. It's like, no, I've been in there with Merab. I did a whole lot better than Sean did when I fought Merab. I mean, I took down Merab. Merab is lucky that I had that groin injury, and I'm still planning on running it back. But either way, Sean O'Malley got his ass kicked for 5 rounds, and I can't wait to get him next. The rivalry between O'Malley and Cejudo has been brewing for years. Both are notorious trash talkers in the bantamweight division and have each held the 135 pounds title, which keeps their names frequently tied to potential matchups. Do you think Suga can get the bantamweight title in the future? Or is it the era of Merab or Umar Nurmagomedov maybe? Leave your thoughts in comments! Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for daily MMA news.